Welcome back to the channel Gadgets for Gentlemen. In this video I'm going to unbox a brand new watch purchase. I bought the G-Shock GW-5000U. I found out about this particular watch recently watching this very nice video. I put a clip of the video here inside and I recommend you to watch it. It's a fantastic video. I have been owning G-Shocks for maybe a decade, I think. I had the round G-Shock, very beautiful. I think it was the 6900. I owned the 5600, the square, and recently I owned the 5610 with the tough solar and multi-band. And somehow all of these watches, they did not fully satisfy my needs, and I sold all of them. I have been wearing the F91W for some time, but also that one did not satisfy me completely. And then I saw this particular watch, and I think this watch ticks all the boxes for me to wear it alongside my quote-unquote luxury watches that I will show you in a second that I have right there. But first, let's get started unboxing. As you can see, it's very plain, very typical Casio. Let's open it up. So this is the outer box. And I purchased this one on a Dutch website called Bol. That is B-O-L. But this watch can also be found on Amazon. I will try to find a link. For certain, I know that this watch is made in Japan, and I was able to find it on the European website. So I think you can purchase this watch also in America, but it is produced in Japan. Unlike the previous 5610 that I purchased, that was produced in Thailand. So this watch is far more expensive than the regular 5600. You can find that watch for example, 85 euros on Amazon. I think it's a great, maybe the best value for money. But I wanted something a bit more higher quality. You can't call this a luxury watch, but you get what I'm saying. I wanted something with better build materials. So here we have the watch, it reads G-Shock, and here we have some information when we open up this part. So here we have warranty papers, which is not signed, which I think is really annoying when watch sellers, they don't sign the warranty papers. And this is some information about the tough solar. So I purchased this watch because it has tough solar as well as multi-band. So you never need to set the time with this module when you have a reception. So that is the module 3495. And I think this is the updated module because this is the U. The U in the end of the reference number indicates the update of the module, which has new functions that are really nice. And I noticed already this watch is much heavier than the G-Shock 5610 that I'm used to. And this is both maybe a pro and a con at the same time, because the G-Shocks that are just made of resin are very lightweight, maybe about 30 or 40 grams. This one, because it has a steel back and a steel case back, is much heftier on the wrist. And that is something that I wanted to experience. So let's get started. Here we go. As you can see, all the packaging is very simple, very, very simple. But I don't really mind if the quality, if the costs, if they go inside of the watch production instead of the packaging. I think that's acceptable. So what do we have right here? We have shock resistant 20 bar, that is 200 meters, radio controlled. I'm based in the Netherlands. I think there is a radio controlled tower in Germany. Solar power stopwatch that is very useful. Timer, alarm, world clock, and full auto LED backlight. So the auto refers, I think, when you rotate your wrist, then the backlight will turn on. So reference again is the GW-5000U-1 ER, and this one is sold in the European market. And I will do probably some update videos later on. But here we have it. This is just the first impression. And I notice again the heft is it's more similar to my dive watches that you can truly feel when you're holding it. For example, here with the Tudor Black Bay, you really have something, a watch on your wrist. And I notice a bit of the same with this G-Shock. Unlike the 5610 that I have been wearing for a couple of years, I think, this one definitely has more heft. And that is both a con and a pro, depending on what you like. For example, when you sleep with the regular 5610, for example, you hardly notice wearing it. Of course, it's heavier than your F91W, but still it's a very lightweight watch. This one definitely has some more weight to it. So we have the buckle and it reads Japan. I think this is not on the back of your 5610, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I definitely think this is a little touch, a little bit extra of this particular watch. And I also noticed that this strap it feels a bit more soft compared to my 5610 U that I've been using for the past year or so. I really like how monochromatic this watch looks, just like the Tudor Black Bay 41, the brand new one, the monochrome. It's just a combination of black and white, and as you can see up close here, there's just a little splash of red beneath that shock resist. There's a little red splash. Other than that, it's just all black and white or gray, and that is so nice. It's really discreet. Other than that, it's very similar to the G-Shock that I have been wearing. I noticed that it is a bit thicker because of that case back. So it looks like with the regular 5610 or the 5600, there is just a metal plate with 4 screws holding the plate to the resin case. And now you can see there is a screwed down metal case back that gives it a little bit of some thickness. Similarly, for example, here with the Omega, you can also see that screwing down that case back with that exhibition to see that movement is also giving it a little bit more thickness compared to, for example, your Rolex Submariner that just has a bit of a slimmer case back. As far as I recall, also here with the Tudor, you can see that case back is actually, it looks a bit flatter compared to that Omega case back. So that looks very nice. I also want to mention that case back, it has the diamond coating treatment or something. It's called DLC, diamond-like coating. I think that's the term used. It looks a bit black almost. So it's definitely not the typical silver-looking case backs that you can find with your watches. Here, for example, with the Tudor Black Bay, that has like a silver-looking case back. But this really fits with the black color scheme that we have with this resin strap, the resin case. I think that's a very nice touch. And of course, you are going to wear this case back on your wrist. But when you take it off your wrist, it's such a beauty to look at. And I heard that this metal case back actually does not really scratch that easily. So that's a nice thing. Here it reads the specifications 200 meters, made in Japan, shock resistant Casio, the reference number, the 5000U, stainless steel. Now finally, let's throw it on the wrist. My wrist size is 6.3 inches. And here on this strap, as you can see, I'm about in the middle of this strap. So I think this watch is really fitting to many wrist sizes, both smaller and larger wrist sizes. And as you can see with that keeper, it holds it well together. Now here we have it on my 6.3 inches wrist. And actually when I'm wearing this watch, I do notice it on my wrist. It's definitely a bit heavier compared to the regular 5600. Actually, I do want to make a comparison. I might buy the 5600 because it's such a value for money watch. And then maybe I can do some comparison, comparing the thickness, comparing the weight, comparing the color scheme. But I think this looks amazing. This looks really amazing. In terms of the size, as you can see, it is quite a bit larger than, for example, your Tudor Black Bay 58. I think we go into that size a bit of the Omega Seamaster, as you can see right here. Or potentially we're going towards that size of the Pelagos FXD, as you can see right here. And in terms of that thickness, I think it's also quite similar to, for example, your Pelagos and your Omega, as you can see right here. Let me measure it up. But definitely my first impression is this strap is very, very nice. So we have a power saving mode. We have nice buttons, world time, alarm, stopwatch, timer. I also like pressing this button. It's very secure, very solid. And that is the backlight. Very nice. Yeah, let me give you some measurements. It's a bit hard to measure. Depends if you measure this point where it reads protection or G-Shock, that is the highest point, because the actual thickness might be this point, the middle point. So if I measure it from the case back to the middle point, I get about 12.8. And if I measure the G-Shock text that is elevated, I get about 13.6. But I think it's fair to go with that middle position. You get about 12.8. And then we have the elevated points right here and here for some extra protection, like a bumper. But if you measure it from here, I think the thickness is quite similar to your dive watches. Between the lugs, we have a strap that tapers. As you can see in the end, it tapers to 19 millimeters. And I think when it starts, for example, right here, it's like 24. Yeah, it's like 24, or even it's like 26, I think. Let me try and measure this part. Yeah, when we measure this first link, we get about 25. So this is about 26 at the case, even like 29. So it's quite wide, but then it very beautiful tapers to 19 millimeters. On the scale, I get about 76 grams, which is much heavier compared to your typical G-Shock. But then again, a whole lot much lighter to, for example, your Tudor Black Bay, 134 grams. The Omega Seamaster coming in at 174 grams. Or your Tudor Pelagos FXD, here on the NATO strap, I get about 87 grams. You can compare it to this titanium built Tudor Pelagos FXD 42mm diver on a NATO strap. So definitely that resin build materials definitely make it a light watch to wear. But then again, the metal case construction in the back, including that metal screw down case back, definitely adds some weight to it. And I'm very happy, can't wait to start wearing it. If you enjoyed this video, then please give me a like, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, then let me know, and see you soon.